World War I never actually happened. Everything you know about history, every war, every emperor, every civilization is only what you've been told. You weren't there and neither was I. We just accepted the stories we've been given and never questioned it. Anyways, here's the history of World War I. So the people with the crooked and yellow teeth survived the Napoleonic Wars. Let's not do that again because wars are dangerous and very expensive. So now I want everybody to listen really carefully because well, Europe does change the entire world and not many people know about this. They invented 3 things. Nationalism, imperialism. And does the third thing end with ism? Yes, it does. Militarism. Everybody starts building bigger armies, not because they wanted war, of course not, because they didn't want anyone else to have a bigger army. They're buying guns. We're buying guns as well. They're buying guns because we're buying guns. Militarism. Now Europe then discovers that there's still land out there that isn't theirs. I'm going to conquer this land this land right beside that land. Ooh, that's shiny. Let me take that. Man, life is great. I love imperialism, said the European. Now people start identifying with their countries, which is nice. I'm French, I'm German, and I'm Italian. Turns out people really like belonging to a group, and it's been happening for thousands of years. But up until this time period, people take it to the extreme. My country's great. Well, yours is okay. Don't compare your filthy country to mine. We're better. Nationalism is great, but always causes problems on the road. World War I. Eventually, someone has an idea. What if instead of fighting alone, we fight together? Everybody loved this idea, especially Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy. Then, listen up. Then those 3 countries made a secret pact called the Triple Alliance, and they thought nobody would realize. Knock knock. Britain, France, and Russia. We're like, no, something suspicious happening over there. We need to create our own group and call it the Triple Entente. And that's exactly what happened. Now everybody has friends. What sounds wholesome? It isn't. If someone attacks you, we'll help. And we're totally not lying and just using this mainly as a scare tactic to prevent wars. Welcome to the Balkans, where nobody agrees about who owns what. Serbia wants Slavic people together. Austria-Hungary would prefer that they didn't. We're gonna do what we want. Please don't. Come on, Austria, let's just do this one time. It's not a big deal. Unfortunately, their compromise didn't work out. Everybody always remembers who owned what, who invaded who deserved what, who started it, but nobody agrees unless it puts them in the right. But humanity's favorite thing to do is being completely confident when they are completely wrong. Now on a rainy thunderstorm day, Archduke Franz Ferdinand visits Sarajevo and several assassins are waiting. One of them is Gavrilo Princip, but the first assassination attempt fails. Well, I guess I'm having a lucky day. Yay! And now Archduke then decides to visit the wounded. His driver takes the wrong turn, and this turn might have been the worst wrong turn ever made in history. Because Gavrilo Princip was waiting on the street, Archduke walked out of his car, and Gavrilo took out his gun and shot him directly. Now things take a massive turn, and the July crisis happens. Austria-Hungary blames Serbia and sends them a list of demands. And Serbia says, we'll accept most of them. Turns out most wasn't enough. Austria-Hungary declares war. Russia starts preparing to fight, Germany starts preparing to fight, France starts preparing to fight, Britain watches. Germany walks through Belgium, and now Austria goes to war with Serbia. Russia joins the war, Germany joins the war, France joins the war, Britain joins the war. Well,
let's focus on Germany's side. Germany has a plan. Actually, Germany has one plan. It's called the Schieffelin plan, which basically goes like this. Knock France out first, then deal with Russia later, because Russia is huge, and huge countries usually take longer to mobilize. And that's as far as they thought for the plan. We'll be in Paris in 6 weeks. That's pretty ambitious. That doesn't sound smart. So if Germany marches through Belgium, hey, what do you think you're doing? Sorry, I gotta get through to Paris. Britain sees Germany invading neutral Belgium. Absolutely not. Now Britain joins the war, which is exactly what Germany was trying to avoid. The German army pushes towards Paris, and everything seems to be working, until it isn't. At the First Battle of Marne, French and British forces stopped the advance, even using Paris taxicabs to rush shoulders to the front. Public transportation. Germany retreats, France holds, and suddenly nobody knows what to do next, so they both start digging. One trench, then another, then another. Pretty soon, there's a line of trenches stretching from the English Channel to Switzerland. There's a war in the trench. Well, this is awkward. The quick war is officially gone. Welcome to World War I. Now that everyone has trenches, nobody can really move. Don't go over the top. Because every time someone tries, machine guns, lots of machine guns. A single gun that can fire hundreds of rounds a minute. Turns out, running across an open field is no longer a good idea. Then there's artillery, which causes the most casualties of the war. Not bullets, not bayonets, explosions everywhere for days, sometimes weeks. When does the shelling stop? Eventually, probably, and if that wasn't enough, someone invents poison gas. First chlorine, then phosgene, then mustard gas, which burns skin, blinds soldiers, and lingers for days. It's hell on earth. Gas masks became standard equipment, which helped, kinda, but not really. A rag soaked in urine worked better. Life in the trenches isn't much better either. Mud, flooding, rats, lice, disease. This is terrible. Every few months, the generals decide, maybe this attack will work. Thousands come out of the trenches, thousands never come back. The front barely moves, but the casualty numbers do. Everybody loses. By 1916, the war has become a contest to see who can survive longer. Germany chooses Verdun. Their plan? Bleed France until they can't fight anymore. The war was supposed to last 6 weeks. This battle lasts nearly 10 months. Hundreds of thousands die. The front barely entirely changes. It's a stalemate! The British launched the Somme, hoping to relieve some pressure on Verdun. On the first day alone, the British army suffers nearly 60,000 casualties, one of the bloodiest days in its history. The Somme introduces something new. Tanks. They're slow, they break down a lot, but they're a start. Meanwhile, something happens far away. The United States enters the war. Fresh troops, fresh supplies, fresh money. The Allies like this. Germany, less so. At almost the same time, Russia leaves the war after a revolution breaks out at home. Germany suddenly doesn't have anybody to fight in the east anymore. We're back. Maybe. The war isn't over, but the balance is changing. Meanwhile, while everyone's arguing in the trenches, there's explosions in the water. There's another war going on. Well, it's the same war. Britain has the world's largest navy, so it decides no one gets to trade with Germany. The Royal Navy blockades German ports. Food, fuel, raw materials, just about anything. If it's headed to Germany, Britain tries to stop it. Germany's navy isn't strong enough to break the blockade, so it tries something else. Submarines, or as Germany calls them, U-boats. Underwater problems. In 1915, a U-boat sinks the Lusitania. Nearly 1,200 people die, including Americans. The United States is furious. Germany eases back for a while. The biggest naval battle of the war happens in 1916, Jutland. Hundreds of ships, thousands of sailors, everybody claims they won. Suddenly, food becomes scarce. Factories slow down, civilians go hungry. The war isn't just wearing down armies anymore, it's wearing down entire countries. This cannot last forever. Germany knows something has to change, and quickly.
I have news. Something did change. Quite late, but later is better than never. It's 1918. Everyone is exhausted from this nonsense. Come on guys, let's stop this mess. I meant no harm. In Germany's defense, everything went wrong. The entire army was crumbling like dominoes. Food said bye-bye and ran away. Money was basically fictional, like your girlfriend. And most importantly, the people are completely fed up. Turns out, people don't really enjoy dying, especially just because the government has issues with the entire world. Germany wasn't only losing the war, but it was losing its own support from the people. The Emperor of Germany dipped for good. Safe to say he left Germany in shambles. Germany now wants peace. Kinda ironic, considering that they started the fight. It's like when your little brother punches you, but then you get mad and knock them out, and then they go crying to your parents. Yeah, same thing. Germany wants mercy. 2 million Germans had to die for the German Empire to give up. Yo, Germany, pull up to northern France. Let's negotiate. Okay. The armistice. The Allies and Germany negotiate in some random train. Sounds a bit sketchy. I think it's a setup. But they come up with a deal that should bring peace. And although it was called peace, it wasn't really peace. So what was the deal they came up with? Well, it was a couple things. Germany stops fighting, gives up weapons, leaves places that Germany isn't supposed to be in. Basically like giving back their victory money. And everyone agrees to stop killing each other. Just like that, the war is almost over. Emphasis on the almost. Anyways, the armistice was signed on November 11th, 1918. So it was the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month. That's a lot of 11s. The fighting stops. Like for real, for real. The war is over. Except that it wasn't totally over. There was a couple unsolved things, but it's the start to the end, and people love it. Party time! People flood the streets, church bell rings, strangers start hugging each other because why not? Because after 4 years of straight chaos, they finally felt peace. But then, reality hits. But 20 million people are now 6 feet under. Cities are now not cities. Fields are pure mud. The consequences of this war are just getting started. It's the Treaty of Versailles. Important people meet up in some fancy room. First rule, Germany, this is all your fault. Germany doesn't agree, but signs the documents anyways, admitting guilt to everything. Second rule, Germany owes money, like a lot of money. Reparations. Okay, fine. How much do I owe? Not much. Only 132 billion gold marks. Yeah, this is sure the economy. Third rule, Germany loses land. France takes a piece, then Poland takes another bite. What about all its colonies? Ginny, make those disappear, please. Fourth rule, you can't have a military. Come on, please, let us have something. Okay, fine. Only 100,000 soldiers, nothing else. No planes, no submarines, no tanks, nothing. Aw man, we're broke, weak, and defenseless. Yeah, this definitely won't make them hold a grudge against the world, but everyone else is happy, kind of. World War I changes war. Forever. Now it's machine guns. Guns that don't need food or naps. Gas that is quite inhumane, but then again, war is inhumane on its own. Birds with people in them. Basically everything is 10 times more deadly. An entire empire vanishes. New countries pull up. World War I causes grudges that cause even more problems. Yeah, this was probably one of, if not the worst war anyone could have been a part of. So World War I ends. It changes how wars are fought. It changes who lives where. It changes who lives at all. And even when it's over, it's not really over, because consequences stick around. And when an entire country feels humiliated, bad things happen. And that's the history of World War I guess.